Hi there, this is David Holden, naturopath and biochemist. This is Joyce, who owns and runs IE Produce in Takapuna, our local health food store. I'm just going to be going through the store and talking about a few products that can help enhance your health. Thanks, Joyce.
You're most welcome.
Hi, David Holden, naturopath and biochemist here. We're at IE Produce. I want to talk a little bit about the dangers of antiperspirants. This is a major issue for a lot of people, and I'm concerned about this from the point of view of breast cancer. Many of the commercial ones, if you look on the supermarket shelves, when you finish watching this clip, or freeze frame it now, go grab your spray-on antiperspirant if you use one, or your spray-on deodorant. Some of them contain up to 35% aluminium hydrochloride. Why is it used? It's used because it dries them very quickly, but it blocks the pores. And for women, this is a major concern because the aluminium gets into the pores and can transmit right into the breast tissue, blocking the microducts of the breasts, which is a serious concern with breast lumps and obviously breast cancers as well, because it blocks lymphatic flow. So you want to be using natural deodorants if you have to use them, and there's quite a range available here. These stick ones dry very quickly. There's no aluminium in them, there's nothing. There's such a range available now. These new balms have just come out, which are very good as well. They dry instantly. I prefer using the sticks, but these are very, very new, so I haven't used these myself. If you do have very, very strong smelling sweat, you may need a detox. If you do, then we'll talk about that in a minute with tongue scrapers and a few other things that can tell you if that's the issue. But the key thing with these is, please don't use antiperspirants. Your body's designed to sweat. You want the pores to break out and sweat to occur because it carries toxins out of your body. You just don't want it to smell. Now, if it does smell, that's another issue. Obviously, if you're going to a ball and you're dressed up in a nice gown or a nice suit, you don't want sweat stains, that's the case for an antiperspirant, but a one-off. But as a general rule, you want to use as natural as possible, and there's such a big range here. For people who do have strong smelling sweat, the spec range is very, very good. IE Produce got one of the best ranges in the country, actually, so you've got a good selection here. So have a look around, try ones that you like to use. There's such a wide variety of scents now that you can get unlimited variety. Now let me just come around here and we'll talk about, if you do have very strong smelling sweat, then you may have a toxicity problem. One of the ways to find out is use one of these tongue scrapers. So when you clean your teeth, don't use your toothbrush because you'll get toxins from your tongue on the bristles and you'll drive those into the gum line when you brush your teeth. Either use an inverted teaspoon, but better get one of these. Drag it across the tongue several times, and when you rinse it, have a look at the color of it. Now, if it's quite dark, your system's toxic. Now, I did Oriental tongue diagnosis as my naturopathic thesis when I trained 20, 30 years ago. And where the toxins lie on the tongue tells us a lot about the different organs that are being affected. The key is, this is gastrointestinal toxins coming up from the breath, out of the body, onto the tongue. Get rid of it. You don't want to be re-swallowing it when you eat your meals. So when you clean your teeth, use one of these, scrape the tongue twice a day when you clean your teeth, get rid of the toxins, rinse it, dry it, put it up with your brush, use it again when you need to. They'll last forever. They're really good, these. So that's one easy, quick way you can find out if you need to do a detox or not. If the color's very dark, you do. If it's a light color or just a white color, there's a small amount of acid in your system, you probably don't need to, but just keep your fluids up. So these are a really good adjunct to any health regime. I want to talk a bit about soaps as well. Now, commercial soaps, like, you know, the Doves and the Mums, they say they're gentle and soft on your skin, but the pH can be quite harsh. I prefer organic soaps, and I use the Dr. Bonner's range, which I find is really good, but there's so many other good ranges available now. These are completely organic, they're not really harshly alkaline. Normal commercial soap can be up to pH 9, which is very, very alkaline, which destroys the commensal bacteria on your skin, which keeps your skin healthy. You don't want to do that. So using some of these more natural liquid soaps I think is better than the cake soaps. Having said that, there's a new one just come out from New Zealand actually. It's a local one that's olive oil, which is very strongly antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. So that's another little thing you can use instead of commercial soaps. Right, another area I want to talk about is hair dyes. Now, most women over 40 will use some hair dyes. The problem with the commercial ones is they contain ammonia, they contain propylene glycol, they contain parabens, and in the early days, pre-1980s and 90s, and still in Europe, there's some that do contain some heavy metals, aluminium, some small amounts of cadmium, zinc, and other heavy metals to hold the dyes in. We don't need to do that anymore. With new technology, you can go with a wide variety here of different brands, organic, non-organics, all ammonium-free, parabens, gluten, propylene glycol free, and they do hold the color really well. So these are other versions you can use. When you go to a hair salon, they're usually going to use the cheapest product they can get, and many of them use a lot of chemical stabilizers, which will cause burning, itching, or rashes. And if you do get that after a hair treatment, you know you're reacting to the product. Ask the hair salon to get another one in, or take one of these from your local health food store, like this one. It's got IE Produce actually does have one of the best ranges in New Zealand, and you can use these. So allergies to hair dyes are incredibly common, and the problem is, of course, those chemicals. You've got such a rich blood supply to the scalp and the skin that the chemicals go right into your systemic tissues, into your lymphatic system, and they poison your whole body. So we don't want that. So you've got a lot of options here, and I really strongly recommend you have a good look at what you're using in your cosmetics, your skincare, your hair care, and detoxify the range. Go organic wherever you can. Go parabens, propylene glycol, and aluminium free.